Hey, everybody. Looks like I'm starting the stream here. I've got a couple of special guests. For the topic for today is basically cast member stories. Um, and if you're in chat, go ahead and say hi. Love to see you. Um, but yeah, I've got a couple of special guests here that have both worked at in Walt Disney World. One was in at Magic Kingdom. Hey, April. Hey, Catherine. Welcome in. Um, so I'm going to bring in my first special guest. She's become a pretty good friend of mine. Been on my channel a couple times before. George Cerwillo. Hey, welcome in.
You're
George.
saying good friend, and I was wondering who that was.
Oh. Okay. So George has a ton of stories. Oh, hey, welcome. Welcome in, Parker Riddell. And we have another friend of mine who worked in food services over at the Magic Kingdom. We have Princess Paula Bell. Paula.
And Epcot, and Animal Kingdom, and Wellness Lodge. So there. Hi, guys. What's up?
Oh, so you were over at Epcot too. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the
culinary, technically, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So.
The topic for today is what makes theme park worth working at, and the worst thing about working at a theme park, and that is the guests that we would encounter on a daily basis. And we all have some stories about some of the crazy guests. We all have some stories about some of the absolute amazing guests. Like, for example, I would get birthdays all the time. I absolutely love doing birthdays. Birthdays are one of my favorite things I love doing in the parks, in both Disneyland and in Knott's Berry Farm. Now, oh, hey, welcome in, Cy. If you have yet to check out Cy's channel, she has done some amazing vlogs in the UK. Her series on the Harry Potter Studios was absolutely amazing. Got to check that out. It's 3-parter.
Mm-hmm.
And now, George, what are some of your favorite guests that you've had?
Oh, good favorites. Okay, so ones I would get regularly. I talk about Make-A-Wish a bunch on the channel. You mentioned birthdays. I loved getting the kids who had gotten the makeovers at for their birthdays.
What's up? Welcome in.
And at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. And you'd see them come all dolled up in the princess outfits and their hair all done. And oh my goodness, they were fun. Have a ball shooting those.
So I'm live on, just let you know.
I think the biggest issue with the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is they don't have adult size outfits.
I wish they did adults. I wish they did. They don't. I wish they did.
They would still do the hair for the adults. We would see that on a regular basis. But yeah, it was fun, especially occasionally when you would get the brother who had been done up as pirate. So then you had pirate and princess, and that was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed that.
I'm feeling good, Cy. Thank you. So baby's feeling good.
Anytime that we had something special, you look for the buttons. You know, I'm celebrating or whatever. Because you knew you were going to be able to get something fun with that. And we lost Brian.
Oh, no.
Or another button that you would always look for.
Yep.
First visit button.
First visit or happily ever after too as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anytime you look for buttons of any sort. At Walt Disney World, I think we got the Disneyland, the matching shirts with the groups. Yeah. Because then you would know that there was something going on, whether it was a reunion or birthday or something. And so you look for things like that because you can always get some fun.
A word about those matching shirts. If you're in a large group, it's always the best idea to get the most garish looking color so that you can spot the rest of the members in your group. Like, guys I know don't like the idea of wearing pink, but if every person in your group is wearing hot pink, and you
Beaming
can
right on
see
it.
people in your
It'll be
group
fun.
like from a mile away. Now
Oh.
I've had
Now, in contrast to that, I did
Mhm.
see a couple groups where they were all pink, and there'd be one or two guys. They'd be wearing baby blue deliberately to stand out.
oh
But it worked. It
Hey,
worked.
BDF.
Welcome
Hi,
in.
Keith. Welcome in.
okay. My favorite birthdays were when I would have to do land help for the parade. For
Mhm.
those of you that are unaware of what that is,
Yeah.
at Disneyland,
Shouldn't have a noise cancellation.
when they would do the
Yeah.
afternoon parade or the evening parade, they had a lot of guest control spots that they didn't have a lot of guest control cast members to fill them. So what they would do is they would contact restaurants and stores, and they would
And
send
photo
out
pass.
one
Excuse me.
person.
Sorry.
They'd send out one person each, and to go out and help, be like, a guest control cast member for an hour. And sure, it's great. I get an hour out of, or a half hour, 45 minutes away from doing my regular job and get pure interaction with guests because it's so much fun. But I had this one girl that she was in my area. My job all routinely was setting up the rope from the popcorn stand at the hub all the way across the left side, the left turn of the loop around the hub, all the way to the corner, so that you had that rope block it off for guests to sit there and watch the parade. But right in the middle of that area, there's a girl that was celebrating her 13th birthday.
Aw.
I noticed her birthday. Hey, it's your birthday today. Well, how old are you now? She's like, oh, I'm 13. I was like, oh, great. Let's do this for you. All right. And then at the top of my voice, I'm pretty loud when I want to be. I yelled out, ladies and gentlemen, Katie here is turning 13 years old today. Let's give her a round of applause.
That's awesome.
And well, what I would do is I would
Thank you.
gauge the reaction
Sorry.
I gauge the reaction of the crowd to see how amazing this is going to be. Well, that time I had people that were cheering on both sides of Main
Mhm.
Street
Mm-hmm.
in the big old huge applause.
Aw.
So I said, all right, everybody, I want everybody here to repeat after me. And then I went into this birthday bit that went like, I don't know, but I've been told Katie here is getting old. And so I basically having fun at her expense. She was beat red by the time I was done. And she found me later on before the end of my shift. She said, oh my God, I had people wishing me happy birthday all for the rest of the day. They said they remember that
a little too bright.
you did.
That's good. A little bit.
Looking over here.
So yeah, that was one of my better guests.
Yeah.
Paulette, I know you have been through the parks, and you've had some decent ones too, right? Tell me one of your stories.
Pretty. I remember one time I was walking to break, and I saw some guests that were struggling. And you know how Disney wants to take their picture, you know what I mean? They're struggling with the camera. So they were right by the window where the water. You know what I'm talking about? The waterfall. You know where the gardens are in Canada? You know what I'm talking about? You're coming through with Cellier. So I'm like, hey, can I take your picture? And they said yes. So that was really actually a cool moment. So, and then another story is that I was in one of the food and I think it was in the Ireland booth with food and wine, and they had the warm chocolate pudding. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a sauce. It's like a Bailey sauce. I think it was somebody asked me. I'm like, hey, can we have more Bailey sauce? I'm like, of course you can. It's my job. It's what I love to do. I love making magic. That's why I love to work for Disney. So that's some of the story. I don't have a lot of guest experience. Yeah. So.
That's actually pretty cool. It's always encouraged to take pictures of guests when you're a cast member or when you're working in other theme parks. If you're even those that aren't in PhotoPass, I used to take pictures for people all the time at the restaurants.
Exactly.
Now,
I think every cast member is told if you see a guest taking a picture, offer to take the camera and take it for them. So
Yeah.
Or if I'm
Is-
like just walk, or if sorry to interrupt, or if I'm just walking to break, I'm like, I see birthday, but like, happy birthday, happy anniversary. You know,
Yeah.
it makes somebody smile. You know,
Because the reason why they started doing that was because people were noticing that there's all these group photos, but there's one person always left out of those group photos.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make sure that everybody got a chance to be in those awesome
Yep.
group photos.
Well, even as PhotoPass, that was one of our big deals, was whether they want our pictures or not, get them in there, grab their camera, take the picture, so they can be in them. And
Yeah.
if we weren't busy, we were constantly looking, okay, who's taking pictures that should be in the picture? And hey, let me go. And it was funny when we first started because you have people going, no, we don't want your camera. I'm like, pretend I don't have it. And I almost put it behind my back. Give me your camera.
Yep. And when you would do that, you would inevitably end up getting sales of pictures because they would see, oh yeah, this guy knows what he's doing.
Probably half the time that we did that, yes, somebody would then go, oh, you're not just after my money, you're here to help me. All right,
Exactly.
Go ahead and take yours and let me see. But
there was one more story I have. It's not me, but I was going to break, and you know where the Odyssey building is? There was that gate there that goes backstage. I saw a cast member. It was like a little boy that was crying, and he was upset, and the cast member gave him one of her pins. I'm like, that's awesome. To make them happy.
Yeah.
I wish I could have done something else, but I couldn't.
There used to be a policy at Disneyland.
What?
They used to call it TGS, or Total Guest Satisfaction. And basically what that meant is you want to make sure that everybody's happy.
Yeah.
If they drop their popcorn, you
go get another popcorn. They spill their drink, you get another drink. Yep.
Yeah.
I've had a cast. Go get a balloon.
I've had a cast member. When I was in Columbia Harbor House, I dropped my slushie, and the cast member gave me another one. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. But they did that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Now, George, I know you have some stinkers. Everybody's had stinker guests.
98 to 99% of the guests are wonderful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's that. And it could be just people that are having a bad day. I will never forget one family I had that they were there early in the morning and none of them were happy. But we're going to get our picture in front of the castle, by golly. And the poor kids are getting dragged, and mom and dad are obviously fighting, and grandma's trying to be the peacemaker. She's upset because this is supposed to be the magical vacation, and I took a couple pictures and I went, okay, hold on, folks, this isn't working. And just like you were talking about, the every guest satisfaction, I went over to one of the balloon sellers. I need 2 balloons. And he's like, what? Just give me 2 balloons. I'll take care of the paperwork later. And walked over and gave the kids balloons. You would have thought that somebody had just turned the light from day to night. All of a sudden, whoa. And it changed everybody's mood. We got nice pictures. And as they headed up Main Street, Grandma came back to me, and I was afraid she was going to leave a stain crying on my shoulder, but she was like, I have no idea what's been happening. Thank you. But it's those moments when something like that happens, it makes your day as well as theirs.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, Keith.
Bye, Keith. Have a magical day, hon.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my instances of not the best guests myself. I mean, I distinctly recall, well, it didn't happen to me. It happened to a fellow cast member that was working in outdoor vending. They were at the popcorn cart over by Haunted Mansion, the one in New Orleans Square. At the time, we called it Popcorn 6. So this guest apparently was having a bad day, and was being absolutely really belligerent to my cast member friend. Go up to him, rather than asking politely, "Excuse me, where's the bathroom?" Goes up, "Hey, you, where's the bathroom?" Okay, so he comes back with probably the wittiest response I've ever heard. He said, "Oh, you go over to that train station, get up on the train, you get off at the fourth stop and make a right."
Didn't you do that something, Cyril, like something like that? You sent him across the park?
Not quite like that, but so I was around the Castle Hub at Magic Kingdom, and I had this guy come up to me, and he's all flustered and huffing. "How do you get to the Haunted Mansion?" I think it was Haunted Mansion. It's been a few years, but I was like, well, I remember it's okay. Cross over the Liberty Square Bridge. You make right. No, it's not there. It's right that way, and it's not there. I just came from over there, and it's not over there. And you better. And I mean, this is like a few minutes, and he's huffing and puffing and insisting I'm not telling him the truth. And okay, fine. Let me tell you the right way to get there. I'm so sorry. See the big Tomorrowland sign over here? Head over there, go through Tomorrowland, and make a left turn. Keep going. Eventually, you'll see it kind of changing. You'll go to Fantasyland, make the left turn, go all the way through Fantasyland, past the teacups, past the carousel and Dumbo, and you'll go under an overpass, and then over on the right. It's right there.
So you better go hop across
Somebody
the park.
told me the truth.
So you gave him the scenic tour.
Yep, half the park.
See half the park.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's sad.
I love that story.
I never understood these guests that think that the cast members are lying to them when they're asking something. Cast members aren't lying; they're trying to.
Or they think they think the train station is the castle.
Oh yeah, there was that one too.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Or they want the monorail from Hollywood Studios to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Like,
how dare you tell me it's not there? I rode it into the park this morning. Well, sorry, man. They must have torn it down then after you got off.
I swear, guests leave their brain in their car.
Well, we would say it at Disney World that the finger scanners suck the brain right out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like I had like a story, like some guests asked me to use the bathroom, and I'm like, "Where's the bathroom?" I'm like, "It's right behind you." I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Sebastian might be like
Silver Dollar City.
Yeah.
We would stand at the entrance to the train depot. There's a clock right there that says next train departs at. And they look at the clock, look at you, and go, "When's the next train leave?"
Yes. To be fair, most of these guests are kind of stressed. They spent thousands of dollars to come here, and
the whole reason I will laugh and poke fun is because I have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Where's the bathroom? Right in front of you.
When's the 3 o'clock parade? 3 o'clock. Like,
Yeah.
Seriously, people go ask you that. I'm like,
George,
really? Why?
And I have people all the time when I talk about that say,
hold on.
yeah, I have people all the time telling me, "Oh, they're just joking. They're not serious." No, they're dead serious. They think the name of the parade is the 3 o'clock parade, and they
Oh my gosh.
George, you had a story that you were taking a friend into Magic Kingdom.
Okay, so my return trip to Disney a few years ago, after been like 8 years since I've been to Disney, and everybody on my channel, you got to go back. So I actually had an old a kid that was in my youth group come in with me because his dad worked at the park, so he helped me get in. And we're sitting down for the parade a little early, and looks and says, "Nobody actually asked you that, did they?" And I'm saying, "Well, no, really, they did." And then the cast member standing next to us, and a guest walks right up to the cast member, right in front of us. "What time is the 3 o'clock parade at?" And my friend just looked at me and says, "Okay, yep, I guess you're right."
Oh, welcome in, Mandy.
Hey, Mandy. Well, it depends on what time of the park you are. I think it gets when you're on Main Street, it gets there like 3:20,
Well,
3:20.
And people
to
say,
be
well, see,
fair.
they've got these answers. And that's because you are trying to help the guests not feel stupid but for asking a stupid question. So let me give you a semi-serious reason to answer so you don't think it's so dumb. But the truth is, it's a dumb question that you answered in your. But
Yeah.
yeah,
To be
we'll try to
fair.
make you feel smart about.
To be
But-
fair, what they
Yeah.
probably meant to ask was, what time does the 3:00 parade get here?
Yeah.
Well, even that though, I tried to tell myself that.
Yeah.
Disney tells you to think that way, so you give them an intelligent answer.
Mhm.
But
Exactly.
the truth is, they are not thinking that. You ask them, they think that the parade is called the 3:00 parade, even when it starts at 4.
Yeah, and no, it's not the 3:00 parade. Yeah, oh, yeah, I like that side.
Yeah,
The 5. Yeah,
3:00 parade's at 5.
it's at 5:00.
But we all know that it's actually called the Festival of Fantasy Parade, or they had the
Disney Dream Come True. Yep.
mhm. Yeah,
Um,
they all have elaborate names. Our parade, when I started there, was the Parade of the Stars.
Now,
That parade was a blast because they would scout guests to be in the parade.
mhm.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
as a cast
We had
member,
the Family Fun Day parade at Magic Kingdom. That was like that.
yeah,
And
As-
people would ask, okay, what time is the parade at? Okay, there's a smart question.
exactly.
Yeah.
But when's the 3:00 parade?
Yeah,
Family Fun Day. What's that? I don't know what
Yeah.
that is. So
Family Fun Day was at Magic Kingdom, and it was basically 5 floats, big giant boxes that the characters would be on top of. They would roll it from Town Square up to the Castle Hub, put a float at each corner. They had not a DJ, but basically a guy talking everybody through. The characters hop off the floats. They grab guests. They dance around in the square for like 10 minutes and stuff, and then they'd load up and go back.
it was like the Move It, Shake It, Dance It, Play It thing.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's
thing,
actually
yeah.
what it started off as.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
yeah. Now the Parade of the Stars, they would recruit guests to be in the parades. They give them silly animal hats to wear and capes or whatever props or whatever.
Yeah.
They would, they'd load all these people up on the omnibus and they'd travel up the parade route, gathering more guests. I got to be in the Parade of the Stars when I was a cast member. Now, when you're a cast member and you let them know that you're a cast member, they've always put the cast members in the same spot
Mhm.
on the rope at the end of the line, at the end of the parade. Because
Yep.
and yeah, granted, we did get to dance with Mary Poppins penguins, which was fun. Yeah,
But they know
But-
to help control the crowd behind you.
exactly. Oh,
Mandy had a really good comment here.
and Anastasia,
I
welcome
can't
in.
see chat, so it's
Okay, so Mandy says during her first visit in 2015, I got sick while meeting Tinkerbell. There you go. Cast
no.
members gave me a free shirt, wheelchair, free drinks. That was something that at the
That's
time,
awesome, Mandy.
yeah, we were always trained. If you see a guest in need,
Mhm.
go help that need. Go make their day. Go take care of them. It's not happening as much anymore. In fact, you see times that they're deliberately not doing it, which is very
Yeah.
frustrating as a former cast member. But
Mhm.
yeah, if we would see a need, if somebody spilled their stuff on their shirt, good example. My daughter and I were on a dad-daughter date at Hollywood Studios, and let's just say she had an issue and she needed a new change of clothes. The cast member saw it and they immediately, okay, we don't have it in this shop. We will find it for you. We'll take care of it. And she didn't pay a penny. And it had
Awesome.
nothing to do with the fact I was a cast member. There's a need here. It's going to ruin your day if you've got to wear that the rest of the day.
Yep.
We're
Yeah.
going to take care of you.
I heard
Yeah.
a story. There was somebody's shoe like broken. They gave him a new a flip flop.
That happened to my wife once too. Yep.
They
Now-
gave him a new pair of shoes. That's awesome.
when I was working outdoor vending, I would often get put on the popcorn carts, and I had it was one of my first customers of the day. I had this mother come up to my cart with one of those double strollers. It had two very young kids, toddlers in the stroller, and she was about to buy a popcorn scoop for her kids. Now, the first thing I thought was, okay, first of all, if I give these kids a full scoop of popcorn, which is like this big, number one, those kids aren't going to be finishing that thing. And number two, most of that popcorn is going to end up on the ground.
Yeah.
Now, being that I came from custodial busing, sweeping up popcorn was one of the worst things ever because you can never get it all up. So rather than giving her, selling her a scoop, we had these courtesy cups. We'd put some popcorn in it if somebody wanted to try the popcorn, see if it was too salty or whatever. So rather than selling this woman a scoop of popcorn, I just took 2 courtesy cups, filled them up with a little bit of popcorn. For the kids.
Sorry, guys.
And gave the kids each a courtesy cup.
No.
So right there, that was a way to not only, and I didn't charge her, of course. Not only did I make the guest happy, but it also.
No, that's cool. PCA.
Yeah, I actually worked with Funnel Queen. Her name's Anastasia. I worked with her at the Log Ride Funnel over at Knott's Berry Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's a good kid.
I've never been to Knott's Berry. Never, not been there. No.
Great park. Great park.
It is. It is a great park. It's America's first theme park.
Holiday World fights them for that title, but
which one?
Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana.
Oh, but didn't Holiday World open up in the 50s?
Yeah, but as far as who has the theme park, I mean, Knott's Berry Farm had Ghost Town, but they weren't a park at that point.
Mm-hmm. But it was still,
so
it was the beginning of a theme park.
They're in a friendly argument over it.
Aren't they famous for like their boysenberry and their fried chicken, right? Pretty much, like that's what they're famous for. Okay, so I've not been there. I've not been to Knott's Berry Farm. No, I've not been to California. We'll get out there one day. So,
hi Timmy.
So, I'm coming. Hey, Disneyland, I'm coming for you. So, one day, that'll be fun.
Welcome in, Timmy.
So, yeah, Brian, if I ever come to Disneyland, let me know because I'll let you know because I don't know where anything is.
No problem.
So show me around the park.
It's a different park, but I love it.
Yeah, I know my favorite actors. I don't know you know who Matthew Gray Gubler is, but he loves Disneyland. So he loves that place. It's been spotted there quite a few times. So.
My channel last Sunday night, we debated on which was better, Disneyland or Walt Disney World. So.
Oh,
I don't think you can choose because they're both different.
I think we kind of ended up.
Yeah, they're different. Yeah. I like Disneyland. You could walk to everything. Like Disneyland, you can't do that. No. So.
Well, and the type of guests are different.
Hey, Sheree.
Hey, Sheree. What's up, girl? Mwah. Welcome in, hon.
But Disneyland, you get a lot more locals. Disney World, you get a lot more travelers, and especially internationals.
Oh, yeah.
And it just creates a completely different type of guest interaction.
It does.
It does.
George, if I kind of made it into that stream like right at the very end. So I wasn't able to give my argument as to why Disneyland is better. But my argument is Disneyland is the only theme park that you can say Walt walked in it.
Mm-hmm.
We basically, I think we came out with the conclusion that if you had to pick one park, it's Disneyland. If you had to pick a week-long vacation, it's Disney World.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
that absolutely makes sense.
But see, Disneyland, you don't have to deal with the Brits. You don't have to deal with the French.
Hey, crazy Mike.
With the Brazilians.
Oh God, the tour groups.
Oh yes.
It's like you see a tour group, I'm like, run the other way. I'm like, I was between like where where Spaceship Earth is, like that part, like under Spaceship Earth, and they were like, "We're leaving," and they were chanting. I'm like, no,
They
oh,
in traditions, my traditions class, they kind of gave us a backhanded warning about the tour groups,
mhm.
and we're like, these groups can't possibly be that bad.
Oh,
Oh
you
yeah.
wait and see. Oh yeah, yeah, they are
Oh,
bad.
they were the one group that when we see big groups coming in, we got scared for our safety and the safety of the characters
Oh yeah.
because the lines didn't matter. If we had a couple times up front at the train station that those groups would come pouring in and the lines meant nothing, and you would have to surround Mickey and Minnie and walk them off stage just so nobody got hurt.
That's scary. Speaking
was.
of that,
Fun fact.
my friend worked Splash Mountain, and you know he was working where the Fast Pass line where they merge, and he actually got threatened, like his life threatened.
Oh
He had to
yeah,
call security. That happens.
Yep.
So
I've had people tell me that I was making up the story about them all changing in French Splash Mountain. I'm like, I wish I was. Like, oh, but that's the mythological thing. No, it
No.
happened. Probably happened more than once.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm so lost. What? Oh.
Okay, so
Okay, so I'm shooting pictures of Splash Mountain. And I think I heard somebody's radio as they were walking by or something. I don't remember because again, been a few years. But there was something saying security over Splash Mountain. I was like, what on earth? I'm kind of due for a break, and hey, I'm a photographer. One of our unsaid duties was if there was an incident to take pictures of it to document it. And
okay.
I almost never had to do that, but okay, let me go find out what's going on. There is a Brazilian tour group, and this is junior high and high school kids. They got to Splash Mountain, realized it's a water ride. We don't want to get wet on the water ride, so we're going to change clothes. And rather than go into the restrooms, they just right in front of the ride.
Oh my god! Yeah, security.
Yeah. And they couldn't understand why they were getting yelled at and what was wrong. And
yeah.
Oh.
Jeez.
Yep.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I heard some guests tied their child to a fence post to ride a ride. I'm like, really, people?
I believe it. I believe it.
Really? You're gonna endanger your child to ride it? No. Child swap is a thing. You realize that, right?
And we have Mike flirting with Paula.
Yeah, I am. No, I had a couple families try to do that at Rhino Rally at Busch Gardens. What? We can't take the baby? Well, we'll just leave the baby in the stroller outside the ride. No, you're not.
Yeah. Again, my theory about guests leaving their brains at home or in the trunk or wherever. Now, the thing I loved is working in Knott's Berry Farm. One of the things we had to do was work Halloween Haunt. If you're an adult and you're working in October, you're working Haunt. And Haunt, you get a whole new level of crazy. A good example, what they would do is security security was
Splash Mountain. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But security during Haunt would wear black Dickies and a yellow security shirt, okay, and like a kind of a goldenrod yellow. And what they did was everybody that was working in the park as a shift lead or higher, area manager, director, whatever, had to wear black Dickies and a goldenrod plain shirt. Now, what does that do? It effectively quadruples your security staff because now guests are seeing black and yellow everywhere. And so guests don't know how to read, apparently, so they don't realize that all these plain yellow shirts, they're not security. But they sure as heck look like security, so they tend to not misbehave as much. But we still get people, doing the whole,
Yeah.
smoking their marijuana. And we do still get the occasional fights. Like one night back in 2000, I want to say it was 2006 or something like that. I was working at my Dippin' Dot card for Halloween Haunt, and this was a night where they had apparently a riot on the north end of the inn. Apparently 2 gangs had gotten in, and
oh dear,
from the area of Supreme Scream all the way to Boomerang, actually just past Boomerang. That whole area was nonstop riot, and they had to close off the whole section. They had to close off all the boardwalk because of that. And because I was just beyond that area, my lead couldn't come get me, so I was stuck with no guests for about an hour until they can come get me.
Well, I would say that'd be better than being stuck where the guests were at that point.
Exactly.
So yeah,
exactly.
Funnel Queen says Bloods versus Crips.
Exactly.
That makes my nose hurt, but that's a whole nother story.
Sai, get some rest. I know you're over there.
Night, Sai. Have a magical night, Dawn.
Right, by the way.
Yeah, I have a question. What's with the fights at the parks? I don't understand that. Like, why are we misbehaving? I understand people are stressed, but I don't get it. Like, we're fighting over really?
I've got a couple theories on that. One, the whole COVID thing, people just are not as nice as they were.
No.
They're just a lot ruder in general, especially in the parks to the employees. So then the employees get tired of dealing with this. So you've got that. And then more people have these things. So if there is an instance, everybody's filming it now. Because I saw a couple things when I was at Disney. I was there with my family for Star Wars weekend. There was one guy that was just losing it on his family, just screaming and yelling. And there were 3 of us that were kind of standing there watching, like, okay, dude, calm down, or do we need to step in? And my wife was a little worried I was going to have to jump in and tackle the guy as a guest. But it happened, but you didn't hear about it and see it unless it was really big. Because people didn't have the cameras then.
Yeah, now it's social media is like everywhere. We see it everywhere. It's like,
yep, it's up within 30 seconds of it happening now.
Exactly. And that's, it's not cool to be an imbecile just to get views on TikTok.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Funnel Queen has a very good point in the comments. After Knott's, they went and shot up the Denny's and McDonald's. They don't talk about those.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. They did that? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And
that's terrible.
Stuff that happens at the parks makes the news, even if it's outside. And so you'll see people point fingers at Disney for something that every other company is doing as well.
Yeah, exactly. Magic Mountain was having problems with gangs left and right. So it's that when you get scores and scores of people in one small location, you're gonna run into some conflicts, and some people just can deal with it a little bit better than others.
That and people don't realize a typical day at Disneyland, just inside Disneyland, has what, 25,000, 30,000 people?
Oh, more now. More like about 50
now. Magic Kingdom, a slow day is 40,000 people. So you start thinking 40,000 at Magic Kingdom, 30,000 studios, 30,000
Epcot.
Yeah, and so you're looking at 120 to 140,000 people in the parks.
Hey, Debbie, welcome in, Dawn. How you doing?
Hey,
and then you got all these people saying there's so much crime. How much crime is in a city of 120,000 people?
A lot.
A lot.
So it's basically a theme park is going to be a microcosm of the community around it, and
exactly.
Well, and that doesn't include the 40,000 cast members working.
Exactly.
So, I always get oh, there was, one offender at Disney that got caught. It's all filled with it. And I'm like, okay, one
Not
out
all
of
of it.
160,000.
1 out of 100.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, there was a fight over in Toontown, and
I saw that video.
I think everybody's seen that video.
Yep.
There was a
I
fight
saw the
in
video on the
Toontown.
ferry as well. I'm like,
And
really, people?
The,
No.
the video for that fight was uploaded before security even got there.
Got there.
Mm-mm.
It's like
No.
And it's stuff that happens. Like I said, 99% of the guests are amazing.
yes.
It's that one microcosm that they're the ones that make the news for the bad guests. They're the ones you remember as a cast member.
Mhm.
And it's frustrating because you got all these great people, and then you got the one stinker, and people go, "Oh, see, they're all horrible."
Yeah, not all of them.
No, they're
No.
not all horrible. Just the 2 or 3 out of 100 are horrible.
Yeah.
Now, George, you had probably my favorite guest interaction of all time. Back when you were handling when you were taking pictures of the character meet and greets over in Toontown.
And all I did on that one was I stepped back and watched.
Exactly.
That's
No.
so. At the time, Toontown consisted of 3 meeting rooms, plus Mickey in a separate spot. So if you came into the circus tent, you could line up, and there were 3 lines there for different groups of characters. One was the princess room that had Cinderella, Snow White, and Belle, I think, at the
Aw.
time. May have been Sleeping Beauty was often in what we call the pals room, with Winnie the Pooh and the mice. And then we would have Minnie and Goofy and Pluto in another room. It would change up a little bit. But between them, you had 9, 10 characters in there. And then Mickey, another spot. We had a family come in from Make-A-Wish. And if you're not familiar with Make-A-Wish, the way that they get the wish is you have to have a life-threatening illness.
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody is dying, but you get some pretty sick kids. And this family came in, and oftentimes you still see the Make-A-Wish kid walking around, maybe in a wheelchair. This one was in a bed, basically. It was a bed designed to roll like a chair. And she's got the IVs hooked up and stuff. And we're kind of going, ooh. What they would often do is they would let them come into one room and meet the 3 characters and go out. In this case, they closed Toontown for a few minutes, emptied the rooms, and had all the characters come in with this family. Mickey came in from his, and so there's like a dozen characters loving on this girl. She's probably about 12, 13. And one of the photographers came in, one of the senior ones, and started shooting pictures, and the rest of us just kind of stepped back out of the way on the wall and watched.
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh, good. I mean, you're sitting there, and I told people that if we didn't cry behind the lens at least once a week, it was an off week, because that's what we would do. We cry when we're shooting the Make-A-Wish kids. Just this amazing, wonderful interaction with this really sick girl.
Sorry.
And
I get emotional quite easily. Sorry.
Oh, so it was probably like 5-10 minutes. Great time. Blessed the family, made sure they got all their pictures and everything, and then we all kind of went back to work. And a couple hours later, 2-3 hours later, I got a break, went off, had my break, and as I was coming back into our supply room to check in and find out where I was going to go next, our equipment girl is sitting there and she's crying. I'm like, what's wrong with you? What? Somebody yell at you or something? You're in the back. And she's, no. Do you remember the kid that we had earlier for Make-A-Wish? Yeah, she's gone. What? That was one of her last moments, was in that room with those characters. And that was something, I know a couple other photographers had similar stories with Make-A-Wish kids that you never knew. You never knew with stuff like that. So you're always trying to make that last moment. Yeah, that was a hard day the rest of the day.
No.
Oh yeah, that like I said was always has always been my favorite of your stories because um, you guys stepped it up and made this girl's last moments some of the happiest
Mhm.
moments for her family. They have all those memories at her end, and it's what we as cast members would do to make people's trips that they're spending all this money worth spending all that money. You know?
Yeah, and that was the kind of thing we tried to do that with regular guests as well. You can't obviously you can't do it with every guest, but
No.
if you saw somebody that was in need or having a hard time, now the guests that demanded it, okay, nope,
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
you know, the ones that walk up 5 minutes after your last meet and greet of the day and they want the character to stay out longer because we've been waiting all week to see this character. Well, you know what? Shouldn't have waited all week.
Should have went out there before your trip ended. So
Exactly.
So you know, we have those, but the ones that would come up and be polite and sweet and hey, no is an okay answer. I don't expect you to give me a yes. You know, this is what's been happening, and here's why we're late. Okay, yeah, we would do stuff.
Yeah. Now, I seem to recall that I think you and some friends were in Magic Kingdom as guests, and you decided to have some fun and do a little experiment to see if
Oh,
these guests.
Epcot.
Is
There
that
was five or six of us, just to show how, forgive me, how dumb people are at the parks.
oh
So
boy.
we're all off-duty photographers. We're playing around. We lined up by one of the planters that are around the World Showcase
Yeah.
right by the water, because some of the characters meet out in these locations. So we picked one that there was nobody there. We all lined up and we stood there as if we're in line for a little bit. And people gradually begin to line up behind us. There's nothing there. We're not waiting in line for anything. We're just waiting in line. And people lined up behind us. Nobody had a clue what they were waiting for. We probably ended up like 15 people behind us. And they're like, oh, you know what? We got to run. We can't wait around anymore. And so we headed out, snuck off for a little bit, came back 15 minutes later. There's like 30 people in line for nothing.
goes to show?
Or you have fun and you
Goes to show,
just stop
guys.
in the walkway and go, oh, look, check it out. And people would swear they saw something when there was nothing there.
Okay, that's a great question there, Anastasia. Did any of you guys participate in Minnie's Moonlight Madness?
I don't know what that is.
Disneyland thing.
It's a late night party.
Okay.
The only late night parties we had when I was there was Mickey's Not So Scary, Pirates and Princess, the Christmas party, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas. That was really about it when I was there. And then
The only thing I really did on my DCP was it's an event called Starlight Splash, where they close down Typhoon Lagoon, and you have like the ice. They give you ice cream, they give you free food. It's all closed off. Well, the kids area's closed off, and then the crushing ground was closed off, but everything else was open. So it was like we stayed there all. There was a DJ, there was food, it was so much fun.
Now,
That was a fun night.
My favorite after hours events when I was working busing was grad nights. Grad nights.
Oh no! George was like, nope.
Were the time of year when we were allowed to not be as strict when it comes to being 100% polite, because that's the time when you're gonna get
teenagers,
almost adults that don't really quite know how to act like adults yet.
I love you, George. You're funny.
I know you got some stories about that, George.
I'm very grateful. I only had to work a couple of grad nights, so I don't have as many from that. But the stories I heard from coworkers, I did catch one couple in the bush. well, let's see. I caught one couple in the bushes smoking.
Oh God.
I caught another couple in the bushes. Let's just say they had to get dressed.
Oh dear.
Caught a couple
dear.
trying to sneak backstage behind Main Street. It was like, nope, that's not where you go.
That's
Get
a
out.
no.
Um, But I had friends that I knew a couple that worked on Haunted Mansion, and they actually had to station cast members inside the ride at strategic points where it was safe for them to stay and yell at the guests because they thought it was a makeout zone.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, by the way,
I've experienced those undercover cast members inside Haunted Mansion at my grad night because I was being a ding dong, and I figured, Madame Leota's room. Yeah, I'll stand up in my doom buggy. Yeah, and I get this flashlight in my face. Sit down.
Okay, and in fairness, Disneyland grad night, 1988. I stood up on the Haunted Mansion and slammed on the side of the car next to me and scared the stuffing out of the girls, and it made them scream. And then, flashlight in the face. Oh, hi. I'm sitting down now. So yes, I are guilty.
But
they were bad.
Now, when I was working at Disneyland, they had designated smoking areas. I think my usual spot in Disneyland for grad night was Riverfront Restaurants, River Bell, and Stage Door, and I also did TLT.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I did a couple Village House shifts too, but over at TLT, I was catching people, smoking all the time over there during grad night. Now, during grad night, there is no, even the designated smoking areas are no longer smoking areas. There's no smoking anywhere in the park. Mm-hmm. So being able to catch a kid, puffing on a cigarette, just walking through the park, and telling them, hey, no smoking at all. Well, there is no designated smoking area, no smoking at all. Now, for the chaperones, they had a little area they would be able to go backstage over near the Plaza Inn if they wanted to have a cigarette. But that was about it.
Potential chaperones, don't go in the area. Supervise your kids. Okay.
Yeah. I've seen people vaping, and I saw people vaping in the parks. I'm like, what the heck are you guys doing?
Anyways,
it's a family park, really?
Brian.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, right?
Yeah.
But I think, hey, George, isn't Mike one of yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep. Oh goodness, where is it? I've got a popsicle stick TARDIS here somewhere. Oh, it's over there. So yeah, let's see, right about there. He's kind of hiding it. You can see on the back shelf there's a TARDIS hiding in there. Mike made that.
Nice. Yeah, Mike's a good guy. He's kind of a goofball. I think that's why I get along with him. Okay, but yeah, when it comes to grad nights, they can get we can get some of the best guests there because they're enjoying themselves, they're having a good time, and some of them are actually really nice. I did manage to find something when I was checking my cans at Main Street one time, right at the beginning of a grad night. Like literally, they let the kids in 10 minutes ago, and I'm like over there checking my cans, and sure enough, I opened one of the cans over a refreshment corner, and there in the bottom of the can was an empty Hennessy bottle.
Oh gosh! Oh no!
When you're bringing in thousands of teenagers, 18, 19 years old, and turning them loose, what are you going to get?
Exactly.
You're going to get mischief.
Exactly.
What I thought was funny was your video that you did on the five and the times of the year that terrified the cast members.
Oh, the 5 groups of cast members hated? I think something like that.
Yeah, and you had the Night of Joy people. That was one of the biggest issues.
So if if you don't know me, I'm a minister. I've been a youth pastor. I've gone to these events as the one who leads the group. I hate the behavior. The behavior at them rivals the grad nights. They're just terrible. Silver Dollar City has Young Christians Weekend. The nickname is Young Heathens Weekend because of all the misbehavior. It's frustrating because you get these church leaders that they'll invite all these people that never go to church. They don't know how, but they know that they're these terrible people that they need to have God change their life. And so they'll invite them on these trips thinking that they'll hear 5 notes of a song and change their lives. And they turn them loose unsupervised in the park.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear.
That, and then you get the Christian teens that have never been unsupervised in their life and don't know how to handle themselves.
Anastasia?
Oh gosh, I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that question.
Are you?
I don't want to
asking,
know that question.
Anastasia, are you asking because you want to know so you can try them out?
You can try that yourself.
They're just. Gosh. That's where we'd see a lot of the leaders, because a lot of times those places have a leaders hangout place, and you'll see the leaders check out of the kids, go hang out, and the kids are running wild. And unsupervised teens.
I'm just teasing you.
Duh. So yeah, as a minister, I hated the reputation we got, and I was constantly backstage apologizing. This is not normal church people. Really?
Didn't they discontinue Night of Joy, right? I think they did.
Yeah, Night of Joy, they moved it from Magic Kingdom. They moved it over to Hollywood Studios, trying to tame it down some. Then they eventually
there's
moved
like
it over
no
to
rides
Wide
there.
World of Sports, and it just died, and that was fine. Universal has the same issues with their Rock the Universe, I think they call it. Magic Mountain, took youth groups there, same issues. It's just clueless leaders.
Do they still do grad night? I think they do. Like the Universal does, I know. Don't they? I think so. I'm not sure if they do or not.
I think Disney stopped it.
Yeah, I think Disney stopped it. I think because when I was supposed to go my year, my mom passed away that night. I'm like, yeah. They had me stay behind and make sure nothing happened. I can't get back again.
Yeah, I think Disney has discontinued it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe Disney World is discontinued. I know they still have it at Disneyland.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Night of Joy. It was okay. I've been to the one in Hollywood Studios. I'm like, why are you going to put it there? Because it's like, there's like nothing else to do. There's like less rides. I'm like, what the heck? The Tower Terror is like an hour wait.
Smaller park, they figured they could control the crowds a little better.
No.
Nope.
Big mistake. So.
Going too far to have the kids wear shock collars. Yeah, but they have the right frequency for just the one instead of zapping everybody on Main Street.
Oh yeah, but yeah, finding an empty bottle of Hennessy right at the start of a grad night.
Oh yeah.
But now I know there's one schnockered teen running around the park. Like, yeah, great, he's gonna love this. But I think my favorite grad night story. He's now retired. We had a security officer at Disneyland, very popular. He's one of the leads, former Marine. Well, once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine. His name is Ernie. Now, Ernie is a 6 foot tall African-American guy. And he's one of those types that doesn't take any BS from anybody. And he was, they had Toontown open during grad night. He was patrolling Fantasyland in Toontown. He gets over to where Goofy's bounce house is, and he smells a distinctive odor that he's well aware of. And he's like, where is that coming from? And he sniffs around, goes into Goofy's bounce house, which is not supposed to be open, mind you. And he sees these 2 kids, these 2 grads, sitting on one of the couches in there. They're just smoking their weed, and Ernie just kind of takes a little baggie out of his pocket, grabs a pair of scissors, snips the the ends of their joints off in his little bag and says, "You and you come with me."
Oh,
And he escorts them over to the where the chaperones were, and obviously police were called because this is before marijuana was allegedly legal in California.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, Magic Kingdom, they had the one night I was there, I saw an awful lot of police officers hanging
no,
around.
that's a little too
City
late.
Hall.
Sorry.
So that's I mean, I couldn't
Sorry,
tell
the
you
lighting.
if they're
Sorry
holding
about that.
no worries, Paula.
The
So-
lighting is not great in here, to let you know. So
No worries. Go on, George.
Like I said, I just saw a lot of police officers backstage. I figured if nothing else, they were trespassing them off the property, but I didn't pay enough attention to see if they were holding them back there or what. I didn't want to know. Wasn't my business.
I've heard a story that guests would sneak backstage to catch Pokemon. I'm like, really, people? It's like Pokemon Go. I'm like, well, don't do that. Don't go backstage unless you're not supposed to be there. It's not a place for you to go now.
No.
So.
Nope.
Oh wow, we've been on for over an hour. Holy moly!
Yeah.
This is fun.
But I would have I still have people occasionally on my Utilidors videos asking, well, how do you get to them? Where's the entrances? I'm like, I'm not telling you that.
I'm not telling you either. I know where it is. I've been under there. No, you're not supposed to know.
It's like, I don't want you getting in there. So
exactly. But yeah, so bottom line is most of the guests that are coming to the parks are absolutely amazing. Maybe a little bit on the dense side.
Yeah. What do you mean by dense?
Meaning they need a little help upstairs. They kind of are being very forgetful. They're not paying attention.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
But it's the few absolute stinkers that we have to thank for all these absolutely amazing stories. I mean, I was at a grad night and I was on River Bell, and one of the things we had to do is check out over at Cafe Orleans because the seating area is open. We were the closest restaurant that was actually staffed, and my lead comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you want to go over to a cafe and clean up a code S?" I'm like,
is that a
I'm like,
spell?
Okay, what do I get for cleaning up a code S? And he said, well, I'll give you 10 river bucks. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I went over and then went over to Cafe Orleans, and there was a used condom sitting there right by one of the doors. I'm like, I guess somebody was having fun in here. Jeez.
Yep.
So, yeah. And
I think most of us are guilty of this.
Yeah, I've done that. But if you want to take a picture, pull off to the side, people. But don't sit on the walkway. I've done that. I've done that.
Oh, and yeah. Oh, hey, Rachel. Long time no see.
Hey, Rachel. What's up?
Oh my gosh.
Or don't drink in Epcot and be like oblivious to everybody, like yelling in Epcot. Because I've had people that drink around the world and they had to be escorted out by a police officer. I'm like,
yep.
Okay. Anastasia is asking favorite food at the in-between. That is a cast member dining location at Disneyland that's in between Plaza Inn and Space Mountain.
That kind of like the cafeterias, right? Kind of.
Yeah, I see. For me, it would be the Fantasyland cafeteria at Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
The Mascateria or the,
whatever they were serving.
Yep.
So we always had the choice of Subway, and then you had your grill where you could get your hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff. And then they typically had some special of the day.
My go-to if they didn't have anything that I really, really liked, my go-to would be a grilled ham and cheese.
Yeah.
On sourdough.
When I worked at Animal Kingdom, I ate a lot of Subway because everything else in there was closed. Pride Rock, the cafeteria. Yeah. Or like a lot of sandwiches. Like they had a grill, they had the salad bar, they had like different stations
Now,
at the different
and
specials
see,
of the day.
if I was thinking that day I was going to have Subway, I bought my Subway sandwich before I went to the park because it was cheaper outside the park than at the employee cafeteria.
Yep.
No $5 footlongs for us.
I would usually
Exactly.
bring. I usually got tired because I had to like where I was behind like you know where Canada is like that
Yep.
area. It's like there's like that. We know where show place is. There's
Mhm.
there's a big production kitchen back there. So I basically have to get on the bus and go all the way back. Like our cafeteria is kind of fine test track. And I
Yep.
forget what it's called, but it's back there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna bring my lunch because it's too.
Yeah,
It's
and
too
that was
far.
the
I
other
had to
thing.
walk to the park.
I
So it's
never
too far.
understood why a park as huge as Epcot. You had the main cafeteria behind Test Track, right in that area. You had a smaller one that was behind the American Experience,
Yeah, American
and that
Adventure.
was
There's one.
that was it. And you're kind of going,
Yeah.
so if you're at Canada or the other side of Future World, you had break rooms, but no place to actually get some fresh food. Better be
Yeah.
curious.
So for those shifts, a lot of people were like basically bringing their own lunches from home and all that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brown
Yeah.
bag it.
It was expensive too because the cafeterias. I'm like that. We get like credit for being co-owner, but it's not it's like $2. I'm like, what am I supposed to buy with that? I'm like,
Okay, I
Walt Disney.
have to answer Anastasia's question here. Which was better, In Between or Cruise Nest? At Cruise Nest is the employee
Disneyland.
cafeteria at Knott's Berry Farm.
Okay.
And
Okay. Not Disneyland.
I would honestly have to say the In Between was better.
The Disney cafeterias had more of a variety available, but the prices and quality of the employee cafeteria were at Silver Dollar City were much better. Busch Gardens didn't have as variety, but the food quality and prices. Busch Gardens, and of course, this is 15 years ago now. I could eat at Busch Gardens on $3.50 and get a chicken breast, 2 sides, and a drink.
Not bad.
Yeah,
That's cheap.
I mean that was a good price then. Silver Dollar City 8 years ago, I would typically about $4.50 for my meal.
Yeah.
So, but
Nice. Well, anyway, it's getting late over here, and I have a couple of things I have to do still today. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. Thank you, George. Really appreciate having you on. You're welcome back anytime. Paula, it was
Thank
great
you.
having you on. And oh my gosh,
Thank
you are
you.
really dark. You have like no lighting there.
All right. The light. If I turn the light on, it's worse. So
backlight, yep.
the light here is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I want to thank my lovely guests for coming in. If you're new here, you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing a giveaway as soon as I get up to 200 subscribers. And I'll be scheduling
Thanks,
that
Ryan.
fairly soon.
Is that better? Is that better?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little better.
Okay. Okay.
And,
Sorry,
and
guys. Sorry.
And of course, Paula will be expecting a little one very soon.
July 4th. So
The 4th of July.
Yeah.
Celebrate with fireworks.
we know
Exactly.
the gender, but I'm not. You know the gender, but I'm not saying yet. You have to watch next
Yeah,
Cooking Magic.
Now,
So-
Paula, you have yet to reveal the gender.
I have to
I
wait till
predict
next
it's
Cooking-
either a boy or a girl.
I have to wait to watch Cooking with Magic. So that's when we're
Uh-oh.
so
All right, so check out Paula's channel to watch Cooking with Magic, and any of my moderators want to put her channel in the chat so anybody can check it out. And of
yeah,
course,
I just released a one just last week, I think. Yeah, one
Okay.
Jico did mac and cheese from Jico. So
and if you're not already subscribed to Sir Willow, please do subscribe. He has some of the best vlogs on YouTube when it comes to theme parks and working at theme parks. He has some of the best stories out there. I absolutely love having you guys on.
thank you for having us.
Yep,
Thank you
it's
for having
been
me,
fun.
Brian.
No worries,
Appreciate it.
no
Really
worries.
fun.
I want to thank you all for coming in. Y'all have a blessed evening, and
Bye,
Bye-bye.
friends. Bye, Ohana. Bye.